Welcome to What the Flick. The Leftovers is back. Season
Yes.
2, Episode 1, Access Mundi.
Axis, A-X-I-S.
Access. Oh, not Access.
No.
Access
With
Mundi.
Mario Lopez.
Yeah.
And I'm not looking at my phone. I took notes on my phone, which is totally different. So I'm just telling you that.
So there's going to be a battle for the soul of this show, because I came in and last year John Idarola did some episodes with us, and I think Brett Ehrlich did also.
Yes.
And so I said, did you guys watch The Leftovers? And they were like, no, right? And I was like, no, you've got to start watching The Leftovers, but they're so dubious. But this is as dramatic a sort of a turnaround as a show has ever had.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I was interested in episode 1, but if it had gone away, I would have been okay.
Yeah, I mean, the crazy thing about season 1 of the show was based on this novel by Tom Perrotta that I've still not read. But they did the whole book.
Yeah.
You know, they were done. So everything at this point is they're off the range now. They're off the grid. They can do whatever they want.
Damon Lindelof is freed
basically
from the confines of the book, if you see the book in that manner. But anyway, I loved this. I mean, I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it like as much as I can love an HBO show.
They planted so many what's that about? What's that about? What's that about? That I'm completely.
I'm really right from the beginning. You're like, what? Who's this? What's happening? You know. We open with that really cool.
The 2001-esque.
I mean, there's no way not to draw that comparison. This was really cinematic in general. But let's talk about that opening scene where we see some prehistoric woman.
Yes, she's pregnant. She wakes up in the middle of the night to pee. While that happens, there's an earthquake and an avalanche, and everyone else in her caveman family, tribe, whatever, is sealed inside, and she can't free them. And as she tries to move rocks, her water breaks. She gives birth. So then she's making her way through.
She sees smoke somewhere. That's where I think she was heading.
Right,
she saw smoke, so I think she was heading, thinking
to civilization,
people
right? Other
there.
people, more fire. So she's got a newborn. She's taking care of it. She is feeding herself to feed her child. She saves her child from a poisonous snake and is herself bitten, and keeps struggling, moving forward as long as she can until she finally drops dead. Another woman comes along and rescues the baby, and then the camera pans over to a lake, and we're in the present day meeting brand new characters.
In Jordan, now renamed Miracle.
Yes, Texas.
Because no one
disappeared during the incident.
No one disappeared. So that prehistoric woman sort of suffered her own disappearance. This one was not a mystery.
Right.
There was an earthquake and everybody got sealed in the cave, but she had the same thing happen.
Right, yeah. She lost everyone around her and eventually died herself.
So among the 2001 coolness aspect of that, because there's no speaking.
Yes.
We get, I was asking my wife, I was like, do you think that woman would be considered attractive for 12,000 BC or whatever? No, excuse me, not 12,000 BC, far, far, far earlier. Right.
I think as long as she had childbearing hips, that's pretty much the standard at that point.
They needed a dentist back then in prehistoric times. But what we learned right off the bat is that they've renamed Jordan Miracle because they didn't have any disappearances.
Right.
And they think that their town is somehow
blessed or protected.
Blessed in some way. But we know that area isn't, because it literally happened 2 million years ago.
Right, yeah. There's a precedent.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, we're starting to, we have some hints where basically there is this lake, spring, whatever there that people aren't supposed to take water out of.
A lot of mysteries.
New people are not allowed to move into town unless they've been somehow approved and given a wristband.
You gotta wear bracelets, yeah.
There are pilgrimages of
visitors
people
come on buses.
From around the world, thinking that they're going to somehow get something that's going to save them.
Because I guess what we didn't talk about a lot last year would be
the rest of the planet.
Well, the rest of the planet, but no, the sense of not just the sense of loss, almost more profound than what happened to these people, they're just gone, is the sense of why do we think that this is only going to happen once?
We talked about it a little. The idea of the other shoe dropping, basically.
Right, but I imagine that living with that sense that at any moment.
Right. Well, that's why you had the teen. Remember the Teen Party season 1, where
they were
stabbing each other and having sex or whatever. Right. Yeah, this notion of once this level of randomness comes in, nothing means anything. It's like take the post World War I lost generation and multiply it by a million.
Yeah. So so many, like, why? What's with the water? Why is the Park Service protecting that water?
Yeah.
And she's stealing water for her brother so he can sell it, or give it away for donations for the church. There's a Jesus-like figure living on top of a watchtower in the center of town. What's he doing there? Why did the Reverend, when introducing Matt,
cut him off from talking about his wife
when he was going to tell the story about Janelle Maloney?
What is the deal with what's the main guy, our new main guy's name?
The father.
The father. Okay, what's his whole deal with the firemen who start fires?
Yeah, the Fahrenheit 451. I mean,
totally
2001, Fahrenheit 451. So much stuff there. Yeah.
Yes, like, you know, why? What is it about this guy that they feel they need to drive him out of town, even though he's clearly lived there his entire life? Do they indeed not have any other friends? And are they not kidding when they say that at the barbecue? Is the barbecue an entire pretense to get out of the way the awkward conversation of, oh, by the way, I was in jail?
But that was just one of 9 incredibly awkward conversations that this guy is capable of having. I keep wanting to say his name's Kevin, but it's inconceivable that his name is also Kevin.
Hey, Vamp, I'll come up with it.
But I think the actor's name might be Kevin Carroll.
Maybe.
Which is what's throwing me off. But also, like, when and first of all, there's no person in the world who doesn't want to see more Regina King.
Oh my God!
In general.
I'm so I mean, I admittedly did not watch American Crime, which apparently she was amazing on. She won an Emmy.
You probably didn't watch Southland either.
I need to watch. I need to watch Southland.
So wonderful.
But yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah, and so she finds out from Isaac, the guy whose house he burned down, and then they threw him through a window to save his life.
Right. You're right. Kevin Carroll is John. Regina is Erica.
John is his name. So she finds out from Isaac that he is in fact burned down his house, and like she then sees him the next morning when he's looking for the cricket again, and she's just as playful. They
Well, even in her conversation with him, like, none of it comes as a big shock to her.
No, and the other firemen were like, yeah, they were debating how serious a fire to start.
Yes. Like, I was wondering what those numbers meant.
No, totally. I mean, that just did. You would come in the middle of a conversation where we see firemen saying 2.5, 3, 5. And they're like, 5. And you're like, what the hell are they talking about? And I guess it's how much of the alarm, how much of an alarm fire. Oh, that's true,
yeah, 5-alarm fire.
I assume that's what they're talking about. But it's still, everything is so incredibly mysterious, and we don't know what exactly brought Kevin and Carrie Coon. Is that who that? What is that her name?
Carrie Coon, the actress.
Yeah, actress. Yeah. What brought them to Jarden? She says it's random, but then she admits that it's not random because she wouldn't be coming to Jarden.
Well, I assume it had something to do with Christopher Eccleston.
Got to have something to do with.
Oh, it's her brother.
It's her brother, which I'd forgotten.
Okay,
by the way, I was so thankful that she mentioned that.
Yes, well, that's some good exposition.
Yeah, there was some necessary exposition there, and contextual. And I guess we're gonna get Amy Brenneman too. She's in the credits.
Yeah, and so is Chris Zilka as the son.
The son. So they're still part of it.
So yeah. Oh, other mysteries. The giant crack in the asphalt under glass
with like a circled 7, like it's the 7th something.
Oh, that I missed. I just saw the big glass thing on top of it. The woman in the bridal gown watering her lawn.
Yeah. So I mean, again, there was so much. That's why it felt like a movie.
Yeah.
Like, and the scene of the Slate has a great. I'm taking some of this from Slate, but they got me excited for this. They were like, the reviewer had seen the first 4 and was like, you need to be. I know what you thought last year.
I fucking loved season 1. I know I'm in the minority. I loved season 1.
I didn't love it. It was too dour. And here they've managed, I think, and you can tell the difference in tone just from the open.
Sure.
Which is
the new credits. Yes.
The new credits. But I think they've maintained the interest and those profound big questions without this overwhelm, while occasionally having people, like, it opens with joy. It opened with the girls jumping in the lake, having fun. There were no scenes where anybody had fun in season 1.
Right, but I mean, do you tell this story off the bat being all woohoo? I think you have to be a little dour first. Because,
I do. I just think there's a balance that again, like, you don't. They're under no obligation to, but they also we're under no obligation to join them in the show either.
True, yes.
You've got to find some balance to make something watchable, and they may have, because I don't feel like I don't feel like I don't feel like this is a show about to gloss over the difficult questions raised.
No.
And it being Damon Lindelof,
Yeah.
probably
the goat sacrifice?
we're probably not going to get the answers to these questions.
The goat sacrifice?
In the middle of the restaurant.
In the middle of the restaurant.
And nobody's like, and people are like,
must you
have a goat sacrifice? All right, fine.
Yeah, a good thing you put the tarp down. Not that you're already dragging a ton of blood anyway.
And just bacon. Like what's he doesn't
bacon,
just love bacon. He needs a separate plate.
Separate plate.
Something about.
I did like the Mark Linn-Baker joke.
What was that?
The idea that he had pretended to have been disappeared, and then he was actually hiding in Mexico somewhere.
That was the Mark Linn-Baker. Yeah. No, that was terrific too. And I love the just little subtle things. Great fun with the pie. Really good writing. He doesn't trust the pie because he's been told something bad might happen to him.
Right.
So he gives it away. And Gary Coon's like, "Oh, we got a pie. No problem. We'll get the pie."
And the whole thing about the town song, even like that was kind of bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, like there used to be earthquakes that just trapped cavemen, and now there are earthquakes because there's fracking going on.
No, I don't think it is fracking. I think they're mistaken. I think that our point is that's not fracking. That's the same thing. They think they're immune from something like that, so they're blaming it on fracking. It's not fracking.
I guess if it is fracking, it's going to fuck up that lake, you know.
Well, the lake is messed up. The lake is gone.
Oh, that's true. Yes,
yeah,
that would do it.
There is no lake. So is this the bad thing that happens to John? I guess his daughter and her two friends.
The daughter disappearing. Yeah.
Although we don't know.
After they run through the woods naked. What's that?
That was also super movie-ish.
Yeah.
You know, we saw. Not. I mean, they're in high school.
Yeah. And then the epilepsy was kind of a out of nowhere thing.
Out of nowhere, her deafness.
The deafness was interesting. I'm curious to see where that comes up. I was saying earlier, like between this and Doctor Who, it's a good week for deaf characters
that's right. I heard you say
in positions of power on television. So whether or not these questions will all be answered, I don't know. I don't really care. I kind of trust this show that I'm in other shows where that's all they had going for them, I would want answers. But here, I like the enigma. I like the what we're forced to think about. You know,
I agree, and I think that knowing Lindelof, you're not going to get answers to everything. Except, I think the answers I know you didn't see it, but I know you only saw the last episode. But the answers in Lost, you don't have all the answers, but you got enough of them.
Sure.
And so he'll answer. So there will be some answers.
Yeah.
There will be some answers, and. I don't know. My wife was not into this show last year, but she was like, I can't wait a week. Let's go. So really good stuff.
So yeah, we'll be back next week. Hopefully we'll get Ayarola or somebody else off their ass and watching the show because they should be. I'm glad you are, and thanks for joining us.